Good morning. Just Big Rob here, just a guy over 50, nobody special, just a working class Joe. Um, it's with a heavy heart that I make this video today. Um, I recently heard of the passing of an old friend of mine, an old nursing colleague, a brilliant mind, wonderful heart. Her name is Millie Forsberg. Millie and I knew each other for many years, working together off and on. I moved out to Alaska and lost contact with her until recently. It was very strange. I was sitting in my living room talking with my girlfriend, and I said, I knew this person. Her name is Millie Forsberg, and we used to work together. And I just did an internet search a few months back and found her. Sent her a friend's request, and we began to talk and FaceTimed a few times, and it was very nice to see her. But during the course of these conversations, she had told me she was diagnosed with cancer and had been battling cancer for a while, and felt like things were coming to a head. And so just a few days ago, I thought, well, maybe I should just check in on her and see how things are going. And I had found out through her Facebook that she had passed away. And so I wanted to say something or write something about Millie that I thought would lend credit to my experiences with her, having her in my life and having her in the world and knowing that she was in the world. So here goes. I did try to write something a number of times, and I realized that I didn't have the words to adequately convey what Millie Forsberg meant to me as a person, as well as a professional, as well as a friend, and her ministry, what it meant. So here goes. I'm going to do the best I can under the circumstances, but I know that there's nothing that I can say that will convey adequately my feelings about Millie and the effect she had on my life. So here goes. I met Millie years and years ago. We were nurses who worked at Denver Health together in the perioperative field. I had just come out of the surgical ICU, a brutal place to work, into pre-op PACU area, and she had helped sort of orient me to that and show me the ropes, so to speak, and professionally helped me out very much. As we began to talk and get to know each other, I realized that Millie was quite the leader. She was quite the people person, and she was the type of person who had an air about her that you don't see in a lot of folks. And so Millie had this special light that kind of followed her around, this energy that followed her around. And if you're excuse me, if you're in pre-op area, then that means you're going to have surgery and you're nervous and scared. And she had a way of comforting total strangers without even trying. So I appreciated that in her, and I appreciated her very humanistic approach to her job and how she went about her day, helping out her coworkers and helping out her patients, and generally being a good human being. So fast forward, several months, even years of working together, we tended to sort of commingle in the same nursing circles in Denver, and we bumped into each other at places like Golden Ridge Surgery Center, Denver Health, a few other spots. But we always worked very well together and became friends. I spent some time socially with Millie, just having a glass of wine at dinner occasionally, lunch, coffee, things like that, talking to her, getting to know her, and understanding what kind of person she was. And Millie had a depth to her that I think was well understood by her, but not a lot of other people. And I think that when she encountered people, particularly strangers, that depth of her thinking and her wisdom shine through. And she had an uncanny ability to really bring comfort to people who were frightened or scared or anxious or angry. She could reach people, and that was one of her many gifts. She certainly reached me, and I'll give you a couple of short, specific stories about Millie and my experiences together. I still have a daughter. She would be almost 20 years old now, but when she was young, now this is a long time ago, when she was young, she was very sick, and she had a respiratory virus, and her airway was very small, and Millie helped coach me through that because as an old critical care nurse, I know what's involved, and she was just like, you need to take a step back and really evaluate what's going on and make sure that you're making the right decisions for your little girl and not so much for you. And that was a good thing to hear, and I appreciated the fact she had the courage and the wherewithal to tell me that, because that's exactly what I did, and it worked out okay. But Millie was the first person to call Baby Sissy, Baby Sissy. And Baby Sissy is still called Baby Sissy, and that is the moniker, the nickname that Millie Forsberg gave my daughter. And so that has stuck with me, and I will remember that for the rest of my life. Other ways that Millie touched me. Professionally, she encouraged me to do business, to be courageous, take risks, and branch out. And with Millie's help and assistance and guidance, I opened an ambulance company in Denver and did pretty well with that, and ended up selling it to the largest ambulance company in the United States, AMR. Millie was there the whole time, counseling and coaching me up, and on days when I was down, helping me understand, these things are just temporary, and you just need to figure out how to work through it, And so she was my coach, my mentor, my leader, and I appreciated that a lot about her. What else did Millie do? She developed in her mind, inside of a nursing sort of perspective, a new idea, new ways of looking at things. And so her ministry became about reconnecting with her spirit and the spirit of other people, and helping other people connect with their spirit. And so she did that in a lot of ways for me. She helped me reconnect to my spirit as a human being, as well as a man, as well as, a nurse. I was in the military for a number of years, just like her. Our jobs were different, very different, but I was in a very dark place when I came out of the military, and she helped me come back to a place of light and a place of living, and a place where I could put the past behind me and move forward. And a lot of veterans don't have that advantage. And so, in a sense, I owe Millie Forsberg my life, because the way I live it now would be vastly different had I not met Millie Forsberg. So, another funny story about Millie, she and I were working at Golden Ridge Surgery Center one time, and I had a kidney stone attack. And so she found some Toradol and injected my booty with some Toradol, and it was amazing because it worked really well. But from then on, it was like the joke was, well, if you don't behave yourself, I'm going to pull your pants down again and put a needle in it. And I was just like, okay, we'll do that. But Millie touched a lot of people, and she was a person who shined a light in the darkest of places. And she was a person who carried with her the biggest soul and the richest soul. And she could make a person who felt horrible feel like $1 million. And for her, it seemed effortless. It seemed just like her natural order of things, her natural purpose. And I was able to meet her and know her and be privileged to that. And I'm going to be forever grateful for having known Millie Forsberg. And I cannot express my condolences enough to her family and her people, who I don't think I've ever met, but just know that Millie influenced people far beyond her circle. She influenced people in a very positive and uplifting way. She made us better when she was in the room. She made us want to be better. Better nurses, better colleagues, better professionals, better friends. She made us better, and she made the world better. And I'm grateful that I got a chance to spend a small sliver of time with Millie Forsberg, and I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her a lot. Anyway, this is Big Rob. I just want to say nice things about Millie Forsberg. I miss you, babe, and I'm glad you're not in pain anymore.